If you fail the test, you get killed. In the future, overpopulation has depleted the world's resources, so the UN decides that countries must cut their population by 5% every year. In the USA, all students take a test once a year, and those with the lowest scores are executed. The test is called the 10 to 241, but people have nicknamed it the thinning. In the USA, the test will start in 3 hours. Before the test, guards surround the school with fences, barbed wire, and cameras. They also patrol the perimeter to make sure nobody runs away. Upon arrival, students say tearful farewells to their parents. Guards inspect their bags and conduct body scans to prevent cheating. One guard catches a student with invisible answers written on his arm. When the student bolts, guards give chase, surrounding and capturing him with a net, the first escape attempt they've seen. Once the students are inside, the school is locked down. In the classrooms, Miss Birch reviews the strict test rules. Students have 2 hours to complete the test. They must keep their eyes on their screens, and the results are irreversible. The test begins, and the students dive in, though many visibly struggle with the questions. Once time runs out, students submit their tablets, and guards immediately pull up the results on their computers. Teachers announce the names of those with the lowest scores, and guards escort these students away, some resisting, others too shocked to react. Blake, Kellen, and Liana pass, but Ellie does not, and she's taken away. The students are allowed to have a break. A desperate Blake calls his father, Dean, pleading for Ellie's life, but Dean remains firm. The law applies to all, even family. Furious, Blake causes a scene, shoving through students to attack a guard and knock him down with a fire extinguisher. He wrestles a second guard and urges Ellie to flee, but other students block her path, and the guards capture her. Blake, screaming, is dragged away as Ellie is taken to her fate. A year later, with the next test imminent, a student overwhelmed with anxiety approaches a teacher, who offers a high grade in exchange for unsavory favors. Meanwhile, at the governor's mansion, Blake records a message on his tablet, warning that if anyone finds it, he's likely dead. 3 hours before the test, Dean tries to encourage Blake, but Blake is unmoved, brushing him off as fake. As they head out, a bodyguard notices Blake dropping an envelope into a mailbox and reports it to Dean. Dean watches the video Blake had mailed, where Blake reveals he plans to fail intentionally to confront his father with the consequences of his rigid system. Alarmed, Dean calls Mason, head of school security. In the classroom, Blake purposely answers every question incorrectly, finishing early. To Blake's confusion, he passes the test. Liana, however, who scored the highest in the class, is among the failures. As the guards prepare to take students away, Mason confirms to Dean that a switch was made. Blake watches in horror as the students are taken to their deaths. However, he causes a power outage, disabling the electronic restraints. Chaos erupts as students attempt to escape, with Liana seizing the opportunity to flee. While Mason goes to check on the students, who have been handcuffed again. And they notice someone is missing. In the corridor, Liana almost bumps into a guard, but she uses the darkness to pretend she's someone else. As soon as the guard turns around, Liana jumps on him and tries to fight him, but the guard overpowers her and starts kicking her. Suddenly, Blake shows up and knocks the guard out. Afterward, Blake admits he failed on purpose, and Liana realizes something is off with all the results. Blake then activates the alarm to send all the guards to the corridor while he and Liana hide in the vents. Using the vents, Liana reaches the server room, checking her results and discovering she had scored a 98% while Blake had scored a mere 15%. Dean had clearly tampered with the test. She quickly sends evidence to a reporter, who breaks the story live on TV, questioning the integrity of a politician's involvement in the system. At the mansion, Dean's team scrambles, suggesting he halt the mission. But Dean has other plans. Dean goes on TV, blaming Mason for the tampering and giving a heartfelt statement about his supposed love for his lost son. He reaffirms that he believes no one, not even himself, is above the law.